The Great Feline Expedition. Let the record show that I, Figaro, did not go gently into that blue mesh-walled containment unit. I voiced my displeasure with a series of operatic arias that would have brought tears to a statue's eyes. I am a creature of the sun-drenched rug, not a traveler of the high roads. My human, Gulson, peered through the netting with a look of concern, but I remained steadfast in my vocal protest. However, Gulson has a secret weapon, the tactile negotiation. She reached a finger through the mesh and gave me that specific scratch behind the ears, the one that bypasses my brain and goes straight to my motor. "We love you, Figaro," she whispered. "We're going to the big water." "Fine. I suppose if the staff is going, someone has to supervise the luggage." I settled into a dignified loaf position. We began the 6-hour journey. I shared the back of the vessel with Fatima. She is my favorite human because she understands the value of a quiet, meaningful look. As the world blurred past the windows, I kept a steady gaze on her. She looked back at me with a knowing smile, her wheelchair secured for the trek. We were two explorers on a mission to find the legendary land of perpetual tuna. Every great expedition requires a supply stop. We paused at a brightly lit refueling station for the humans. While Levent handled the heavy lifting, Fatima and Gulson studied the local maps, or perhaps just the menu. Fatima gestured toward the horizon with excitement. I, of course, stayed in the shadows of my carrier, maintaining a low profile to avoid any unwanted attention from the local pigeon population. Finally, we arrived. The beach house is a sprawling territory filled with interesting smells and, more importantly, many high-altitude perches. As soon as the cage door opened, I performed a tactical perimeter sweep. Fatima watched from the center of the room, her eyes following my every move as I claimed the hallway as my own. "Don't worry," I meowed. "The perimeter is secure." My primary duty at the new base was window watch. The house had massive glass portals that looked out over a vast, salty bathtub. It was quite impressive, really. I spent hours stationed at the sliding door, my tail twitching with professional intensity. I am the protector of this family, and I shall not let any suspicious waves or encroaching tides pass without a stern look. Then I saw them, the intruders. Large, feathered beasts perched upon wooden spikes in the water. They stood there with an air of unearned confidence. One was particularly tall and gray, screaming at the sky like he owned the place. I let out a soft chitter from behind the glass. If not for this transparent barrier, that heron would be receiving a very sternly worded paw to the beak. Protecting a family is exhausting work. After ensuring the feathered enemies stayed on their side of the glass, I retreated to the inner sanctum. I discovered a throne made of wicker with a soft, plaid cushion. It was perfectly sized for a cat of my stature. I decided to take a brief, 4-hour power nap. A protector must be well rested to handle the evening's administrative duties. As the sun began to dip, painting the sky in shades of salmon and gold, incidentally, my favorite colors of food, Levent stepped out onto the deck to survey our kingdom. He stood there with a glass in hand, looking out at the fading light. I stayed just inside the glass door, keeping a watchful eye on his shadow. The world felt quiet and safe. The Great Feline Expedition was a success. We are all together, and that is what matters most. Whether I'm in a mesh box or on a wicker throne, as long as Fatima, Gulson, and Levent are nearby, I am the king of the world. I hopped down and curled up near Fatima's feet, purring a rhythmic thank you for the invitation. Tomorrow, the birds return, and my watch begins again.